Exia is convinced that he's going to die today.
Am I not wrong? I didn't say when, I said today, so within the 4 episodes in our Patreon screw around time.
Oh yeah, you'll probably definitely die then. That happens all the time. Jake, how many times did you crash this particular vehicle that I'm driving in the Patreon one a few weeks ago?
Uncountable, because I was doing it at reckless speeds and because people were shooting at me.
Nobody was shooting at you. You were trying to get up a hill.
Well, I wouldn't call it a hill, and neither would you.
No.
I've noticed that there's a lack of weapons that we have in our mod selection, for probably good reason.
No,
Yes.
it's a really bad reason.
We've arrived at our destination. Right, now, here's the thing. Do we have any uranium in this?
I thought you checked. I'm gonna be very unhappy if there isn't any.
Jake, what do you think the bets are on this actually having uranium in it anymore?
I think there shouldn't be.
There shouldn't be.
I'm showing uranium.
There is uranium. Wait, how do we get to it? Ah.
Well, how dandy is that?
And apparently we've got cobalt 30 meters away.
This looks like rock.
It does look like rock. Is this showing uranium and it's not actually uranium? Hold on, I'm going to dig up right above me. What does it say?
Says uranium,
Uranium.
and rock.
Okay. So,
I'm confused. I think they changed the texture.
to make it look just like rock.
Or I think they deleted all uranium off the planet, so this is probably just...
Residual uranium?
Yep.
Well, in that case, if you just take a look in there, that's a lot of residual uranium, I think. Because I'm pretty sure I'm digging up quite a bit. How much of what I've just dug up is uranium? Because I don't have my HUD up. I'm going to check.
Almost all of it.
It doesn't even look like uranium. It just looks like...
Stone.
Yeah. It looks more like... This one here looks a bit like... Yeah, I was going to say coal, but it's a bit too dark, light to be coal.
Tungsten.
Yeah. That's odd. Oh, well, I'm full up on that, so let me just get rid of that and pick up that. Okay. Can you have a look at this stone, please? If you're... I'll wait for you.
Coming back down.
Yeah, I'll wait for you to come back down. I want you to have a look at this stone that I am literally looking at. Tell me, what colour is that? You can see the colour of that, right?
It looks like the rest of the stone color.
Okay, no. To me, it looks like pure black uranium. I'm so confused. I'm going to take a picture of it while it's highlighted. That way I can show you guys afterwards.
I would say let's start over, but if I say that, you're gonna throw us on the moon or the Mars or...
Mars,
Titan.
no oxygen.
There's oxygen on Mars.
You can use an air vent to bring in oxygen from the atmosphere, and then put it into tanks and then use it.
Mods,
know,
no
'cause
tanks.
No. Yeah, I'll stop you there by just going no.
Aren't you a robot? Why do you need oxygen?
I don't. Well, technically I do, but it's not for breathing.
He needs it to make sure that there's a human that can maintain him when everything goes wrong.
I need humans to maintain me. Definitely.
Data. Right. Well, given when this video is going to be coming out, which is not exactly... Why is this not... Okay. Which is not going to be for a couple of weeks after we recorded this. Either of you seen Captain Marvel?
Oh, yeah, I
No.
plan to go tomorrow.
I plan to go tomorrow. So that's content dating this one. And the Avengers Endgame trailer. You guys seen that?
Yes.
Yeah, trailer 3, yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like August by the time that we get access to Endgame. No, end of April. Hello.
Yeah. I think that's something I'm going to go see opening weekend.
And then in May, the next Godzilla movie comes out from Legendary Studio.
The next?
What? Yes, King of Monsters. What poor city gets them all?
Oh, I'll tell you what I did like. I did see on Instagram. So you know how Captain Marvel, a lot of people were somewhat worried that they're just going to make her the strongest character ever.
Yes.
I did see on Instagram that they've actively made sure that she is not the strongest character in the Marvel Universe, as per the comics. Yeah. But funnily enough, they don't have Thor listed on this Instagram thing that they've done. They've got Hulk listed, and he's stronger than her, but they don't have Thor listed. So everyone's like, whoa, what did Thor do wrong? But, I mean, that would have been the same as making, for example, if they made the Winter Soldier stronger than Spider-Man. That would have been just silly. So I'm glad they didn't do that as well. In, was it Civil War?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's too many Marvel films now to keep track of.
Well, Disney's.
Yeah, there's plenty.
I was watching a thing with Mark Hamill talking to Star Wars fans, and he told Disney, the director that did Last Jedi, to
Yep.
a few things, and he ignored them. And
Yeah. I heard that. Last Jedi... Okay, so Last Jedi, I liked parts of it, but I didn't like it overall. So it was good, but overall it didn't feel right, if that makes any sense.
There's parts that just, like the hyperspace ramming thing, yeah, that looks visually stunning, but
Yeah,
you're
but
just invalidated. There's no really reason for these nice big battles now, because all you gotta do is do that.
yeah,
It
exactly.
doesn't maintain the realism of the world.
Yeah, which, you know, I think Star Wars did fairly well before The Last Jedi. Even things that didn't seem... For example, lightsabers and stuff, they still managed to have some sort of basis on it where they had laws to follow and rules.
Yeah, like where they would short circuit if they went into a body or a solid liquid or anything, but they had to be redesigned to handle it.
Yeah. But, I mean... I think The Last Jedi felt to me like what the JJ Star Trek was to Star Trek. That's what The Last Jedi felt like to Star Wars, in my opinion. And that's like, I'm not bashing JJ because I think JJ said openly he doesn't know, he's not a Star Trek fan. So he's not going to be creating a proper Star Trek film. So everyone will, why you hired him. On the other hand, I know he's a big Star Wars fan, so I really hope that episode 9 is fantastic. Thank you.
Because I think he did a nice job on the Star Trek remakes. He kept the laws within.
I think he did a terrible job.
But then again, you're more into Star Trek than Star Wars, so.
No, but I really like Star Wars. So I think some people, when I remember when I first said it, and I said I did a terrible job, and they're like, "That's because you don't like JJ." So, well, no, because he did Star Wars Episode 7, and I quite liked Episode 7. Wasn't perfect, but it was still fairly Star Wars. Didn't like Episode 8, and I'm really hoping he really does a good job in Episode 9. Because
what was your problem with the Star Trek reboot?
It just, the ships felt wrong, the technology felt wrong. I'm not saying the acting wasn't bad, of some of them. I mean, Bones, the guy who played Bones was brilliant.
Which technology?
Just in general, the way they created that technology. So they're trying to reboot Star Trek, and I understand, yeah, okay, so you got 21st century, but it's not hard to create a ship that matches the original technology. And just looks better. The acting, like I said, the acting was really good. Particularly, is it Carl Urban?
Yes.
Is it? Yeah. His portrayal of Dr. McCoy. If there was if they remade the original series, he has to play Dr. McCoy.
The thing I liked this, so the first one, I think it was just Star Trek. I don't know if there's any title after that, but other than the Enterprise and all that, the other ships in there that one were from the far in the future.
You see, I didn't like any of that. I really didn't like the JJ Price. Like I said, the acting was good. I think the writing made it seem more like a generic film than anything else. That being said, I wasn't a fan of Star Trek Insurrection. That was a pretty bad film. I liked the characters, I liked the acting, but I think the story was just abysmal. And Nemesis as well. Nemesis felt like it was just done wrong. There was so much wrong with Nemesis. My favourite by far is First Contact.
What did you think of JJ's Into Darkness and Beyond?
So,
because I think they're better movies than the first one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't like Into Darkness so much, but Beyond, I thought was starting to... It felt like... I thought it was taking a while, but it was finally starting to maybe feel a bit more Star Trek-like. And then... Well, now they're not making it anymore, are they? So...
They are. There's a fourth movie coming out. But I think they're more banked on trying to get some TV shows out at the moment.
So I've heard that they've got the new Picard TV show. I really hope that's good. That one, I feel like Star Trek... I feel like CBS are really hedging their bets on that one. In terms of keeping the Star Trek franchise alive. If they can do well with Picard, it's gonna be great. If they fail on that, then they're gone. That being said, I watched an episode of Discovery with, first of all, the guy who plays Captain Pike.
Yes.
Fantastic accent.
Yes, it's brilliant.
I think after you come up, we're good on Uranium. We have 15k up here right now.
Okay, that's fine by me then. Let's.
The Captain Pike in Discovery is just brilliant.
He is absolutely. He feels like a Star Trek. From the moment he stepped on board Discovery, he felt like a Star Trek captain. If that made sense. Yeah. Before they didn't feel like Star Trek captains. This one just
technically.
Well, technically they weren't. Yeah, he wasn't. but the story always felt a bit odd. But I saw when I saw him come onto the bridge, and I thought, oh, this, let's see what they do. And the moment he stepped on the bridge, I thought, this feels like Starfleet. This feels like a crew, a proper crew. This feels like a proper ship now. And I thought, okay, that's great. And every part of Discovery that I have seen with Pike in it is just another moment where I think that is one fantastic actor.
Yeah.
Speaking of remakes, they're also, I guess, they're going to do another Battlestar Galactica and Starship Trooper. I believe the Starship Trooper is going to be more closer to the books than what.
Oh, that should be good.
About the Battlestar Galactica, are they going to do it the old school way or the early 2000s way?
I like the one that they just, the one that's won awards for, not the nice 70s one. I enjoyed that the remake.
Yes.
I watched I quite like the remake of Battlestar Galactica. I said not everything that's remade is bad.
No, just.
Well, then again, I wasn't alive when the first one came out, and I've never watched the first one.
There is that. I have watched parts of it, and I didn't like it. I've forgotten where the ejection systems are on this. Is it about there? I think so.
I think so.
Check the undercarriage.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a look. Yeah, that looks right. Okay.
Right, I've nearly finished. Oh boy, that was shaky. I've nearly finished 25% of the drilling that needs doing,
Lovely.
which is going to be slower than the welding for obvious reasons.
I thought you say I'm 25% of the way of getting the welding done.
No, not even close to starting welding.
20 episodes later, we're finally finished. Oh, I did.
Yep.
Did I enjoy Last Jedi? For viewing purposes, yes. Will I watch again? Probably not.
Yeah. As a film, it wasn't bad. It's just as a Star Wars film.
As a Star Wars film, it needs a rerun.
Yeah. But as a film on its own.
Have either of you played Knights of the Old Republic 2?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it was trying to go there, but didn't.
It got halfway, it started, and then it's like, oh, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that would have made it a bit more punchy would be that Rey joins
Kylo Ren at the end where he yelled at his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what one of the YouTubers was talking about. It's like, oh shit, if they grabbed hand, then they're on uncharted territory, but they scurry away back to safety.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. I mean, the one thing that annoyed me quite a bit was them just killing Luke off just like that.
Oh, he was he was not happy with that.
Yeah, and I can understand why. I mean, the whole film, the whole of The Force Awakens was about finding Luke. You had Rey, but everything just always going to, we've got to find Luke, we've got to find this missing puzzle piece. Everyone's looking for this missing piece. So we're like, okay, at the end of the film, you get, what, 10 seconds of Luke? A close-up? And then that's it. And then...
And they make it sound... I have trouble with this, too, in Force Awakens. They had trouble... And they played this off as he's so big threat out there, and he's just being a hermit off in another planet.
Yeah. And, I mean, they go to... Then in The Last Jedi, he's suddenly like this Luke Skywalker that doesn't want to do anything and doesn't really care, and I'm thinking, okay, you know, I understand, yeah, that he'd be a different Luke, but what, that, from a Grandmaster to that? He did almost an opposite Yoda.
even in the Star Wars books, after he lost his wife, they didn't even do that.
Yeah, they it's like the person writing it didn't know who Luke Skywalker was. That was my biggest complaint with it. That and the fact that they kept adding in so many characters and so many scenes that were just unneeded and completely unnecessary.
It was like a prequel movie. It's like the Phantom
casino
Menace,
scene.
except without the mall fight.
See, I like the prequels more than The Last Jedi. And that being said, Jar Jar Binks was ridiculously annoying. But I've learned that apparently he was supposed to be the evil Lord of the Sith.
Yes.
Yeah, he was supposed to be
And
Darth
it was
Jar Jar,
yeah,
but
and because of the amount of complaints that people put through, George rewrote episode 2 and 3. So now, let's think about it. Episode 3 went well. Imagine if people hadn't complained. What would episode 2 have been? That could have been one of the
it
most
would've just-
amazing Star Wars films ever.
that's the thing I think about. It's like, oh, if people complain about Jar Jar, it's like, well, screw it, I'm just gonna do it. And then all of a sudden, you see the hood come off, and it's Jar Jar Binks. Not
Well-
being a buffoon, but a militant Sith Lord. Then
Yeah.
you just turn your entire logic on its head.
I feel like he should have just done it. That's what I think.
Was Lucasfilm under the control of another entity at that point, or was
No,
George
Lucas.
No,
Lucas-
it was under Lucas.
Because all of a sudden it's like, oh, we thought Sidious was the big baddie, but there's someone above him that's even worse.
See, what I found was incredible is that now when you look closely at his clumsy actions and his mouth flapping away
his
and whatever,
mannerisms
yeah,
and all that.
and like his mouth flapping away like he's a complete idiot or something, he's not. He was force controlling people, and his arms flapping around. He was actually force controlling people. So
And the acrobatics he did, and
yeah, apparently, do you know? So there's a clip in the Phantom Menace where, but while I'm talking about this, I'm just staring at this screen downstairs with all the information about the inventory.
I'm just watching Jacob Bean just destroy his scaffolding.
It's in the way, and I can't be bothered to get rid of it, so I'm getting rid of it the other way.
But yeah. So in the Phantom Menace, the scene on Naboo where Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and Jar Jar jump down from the what do you call it? From one of the I can't remember what they're called. Rails, I think it was a rail off a balcony or something. And they jump down off the balcony. If you look really closely at apparently someone freeze framed this on YouTube, but Obi-Wan jumps down, Qui-Gon jumps down, and you know the battle droids.
Yeah.
They watch where they're going. The battle droid that's watching Jar Jar, you see him look up, and then you see him look to the opposite side of Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, because Jar Jar's done a backflip over both of them to land on the opposite side. And you actually see this droid, which is CGI, which means it was done intentionally, look up and over and miss his shot out of confusion.
That might be something to fix continuity, though.
What do you mean?
As in, they mixed up some shots. So what they did is they changed one of the droids to make it look like Jar Jar did a massive backflip.
Potentially, but I think that was in the original release. I really don't. Yeah, I thought that was in the original release.
Well, maybe it's something that they caught whilst they were filming and then added it to the CGI department.
So
Maybe, yeah.
Are either of you familiar with Generation Films and Generation Tech
Yes.
YouTube channels?
Yes.
Might have seen something.
He's been doing the Clone Wars series, where he did the prequels leading up to the Clone Wars, and then he's been doing the Clone Wars himself.
Right. Okay.
And then showing the prequels are just telling the events leading up to the Clone Wars, starting with all the everything that happened in governments around the universe and such.
Okay.
And it's pretty interesting compared in episode 1 we're just getting off with the Naboo blockade,
Yeah.
where Naboo actually signed that a contract with the Trade Federation to mine a particular material, and they're negotiating for a better contract.
Right, okay.
And the Senate allowed these corporations to have free reign over the areas like Naboo in the Outer Rim because it cost too much for the government to put the infrastructure down, so they did tax cuts for private companies to do it,
What's
incentivizing them to do it.
Yeah, what I find really interesting is that the Star Wars universe, if you really start looking at it in depth, it's an amazingly well thought out universe. It has everything.
Well, that's probably because of years upon years of details added.
Yeah, but like, this is coming from someone who's a Star Trek fan. I think Star Wars has a more well thought out universe than Star Trek.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, and you know, I'm a massive Star Trek fan, but I will say hands down, the Star Wars universe, the Star Trek universe feels nice, and it feels alive, and it feels, you know, all that kind of stuff. But the Star Wars universe feels like it's been through battles, it's been through a lot. It just feels like every single place has a massive story behind it.
Yeah.
Oh, before Disney took the axe to continuity, there was a nice rich history where the Clone Wars was the largest war that happened prior to Knights of the Old Republic, and in the future, 30 years in the future, with the Hujan Von.
Right, yeah. Disney really messed that up. I like Disney, but they really messed that up. And on that, I think it's time to end that episode. Is that saying we hate Disney? No.
No.
Yes.
No, it's just don't like Disney, what they did with Star Wars.
It's not Disney directly.
No, it wasn't
is
Disney directly,
Someone
no.
who was assigned by Disney.
Yeah. It's Disney's fault indirectly.
They actually need to tone down of how many movies for a certain franchise they release.
Yeah, that too. We'll see you guys next time. Well,
Jacobine, which area are you done with?
You see where the section of the wall is further out? That section.
thank you very much for watching this episode of Space Engineers. Don't forget to hit that like button if you like this video, and subscribe to the channel, complete with that notification bell to see more episodes. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can do so at www.patreon.com/ecgadget. Your support would be massively appreciated, and there will be access, of course, to outtakes, bloopers for this channel, and also access to the Discord server. In addition to that, you can find me on social media at ecgadgetlp for both Twitter and Instagram. And of course, for those people who have joined me in this video, they're YouTube content creators or Twitch, you'll find their links in the description below. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time in Space Engineers.